What's up, y'all? Um, Hope everybody's doing all right. As we know, we just got the news as of yesterday that Irv Gotti, former CEO of Murder Inc. Records, has passed away of a stroke. It's very unfortunate and it's very alarming, um, and it's just a reminder to us, especially melanated people here in the Americas, that we definitely have to take care of our health. Um, Last I heard or checked, we were 4% in regards to population, but we're about 82% in regards to diabetes, uh, lung cancer, strokes, heart attacks, heart disease. It's a long list of unfortunate health issues that the black community in America um, suffer from compared to other races of people who triple, if not quadruple, um, the population of us compared to them. So it's definitely a reminder. Um, the last I saw Irv Gotti, if I'm being honest, it was when he was doing interviews and he was kind of talking about some, the old memories of when he was in his heyday, as the CEO of Murder Inc. But also he started revealing how him and Ashanti used to have, affairs, or that he used to be intimate with her, and they had their little thing back in the day. Why he would reveal that and expose that, I don't know. I really didn't care for the dude like that anyway, in regards to his role in the hip hop industry. But then I lost all respect for the dude when he started bringing up stuff about Ashanti and how he used to have relations with her, whether it's true or not. It's like, why would you say that, bro? Ashanti didn't say it. So even if it was true, why can't you just keep that between you and her? Like, to me, it came off like a clout chase. Like he was just really, really trying to uh, show people, even of the new era, and maybe the women of the, you know, women in their 20s, 30s, or maybe people that's not from the era that he came up in, that he used to be that guy. And because Ashanti is still known and she was with Nelly, I don't know, he felt like he had to reveal that, which was very lame. Like, if we being real, a lot of times women do that type of stuff. They gossip and they talk about their former male partners that they used to have. They'll expose certain things. But as a man, that's not respectable at all. You know. Now, when you was, guys, when you was in junior high and high school, boys used to do that. Like, yeah, hell yeah, man, she gave me some head, dog. Yeah, I hit that. But you a whole grown man talking about how you and Ashanti used to have sexual relations on an interview. That lost all my respect, you know. But let's talk about the real issue, because this reminds me of, my mom's ex-husband, a former stepdad of mine. The man basically raised me. If y'all know about the Gap Band, Charlie Wilson, the Gap Band consists of three brothers: Charlie, Robert, and Ronnie. Ronnie is the oldest brother of the group. He is the founder of the group, and he married my mom in the late 80s, and he raised me from, I'd say, about 9, 10 years old until I graduated high school. And I have a lot of stories about the Gap Band. I know all of them very well. Robert, he passed away 2006, and so he was the first brother to pass away in the group. And then Ronnie passed away. I want to say he passed away in 2021. Yeah, and in Oklahoma, the same state that he was born and raised in. GAP stands for Greenwood Orchard Pine, and it was out of the respects to the Black Wall Street, the black people that were bombed by this American government because they were independent. They weren't depending or relying on white citizens or white folks to sustain them. They were sustaining themselves. They were independent of other races of people. They had their own town, their own schools, hospitals, uh, bus, um, bus stations. They had their own buses. They had own movie theaters. Black people was building their own stuff. Just reminder: Black people built this country. But Ronnie Wilson and the Gap Band, his brothers, they early on, especially like in the 70s, 80s, they had drug problems. So with all of that fame and money, they were doing a lot of drugs and a lot of hard drugs. Like cocaine, PCP, stuff like that. And Ronnie, he told my brothers and I a whole lot of stories about stuff he experienced to where he was doing drugs so bad to where he was seeing demons. He was uh, witnessing and experiencing things that you with the regular your regular naked eye wouldn't see unless you were under some type of substance or unless you passed over into another realm, you know, or you went to that other door, you opened that other door to your mind through these drugs, So Ronnie Wilson, who I used to call Pops, I still call him Pops to this day. Um, he helped open my eyes to a lot of things and a lot of risks when it came to certain drugs that you could possibly consume in your body and what it could do and how it can affect you. Not only did it affect his mind, but it affected his health. Ronnie had multiple strokes. He had strokes um, before he met my mom in the late 80s. And he also, um, he did have more strokes, later in the marriage with my mom. He had relapsed because, see, he was on drugs. And he decided to give his life to God. He ended up popping up at the church, my home church in Compton. It's called Tower of Faith. And he gave his life to God at that church. I don't know what drew him to our church, but I understood why he was in California. A lot of celebrities, no matter where they come from or artists, they migrate to California. So that wasn't the uh, concern, but it was more so like, why did he choose our church in Compton? He could have went to West Angeles. He could have went to, you know, Faithful Central, any other bigger churches. Tower of Faith at that time had a lot of great talented musicians and singers, but we weren't that known. Tower of Faith wasn't that big of a church like that, compared to a lot of other churches and stuff. But he joined our church, so we was able to. I was real young then. I was born in '82, but we Charlie would pop up, Ronnie would pop up, and Ronnie popped up, and he had his kids. One of his sons became a member of the church as well. Long story short, my mom and my dad was having their issues, and they was on the verge of breaking up. They were about to separate, and my mom and my dad were both musicians. My mom played the organ, my dad played the organ. My mom would sing. She still sings to this day. My dad would sing, and he was the choir director. So it was a weird, kind of messy situation in the beginning on how my mom and Ronnie Wilson hooked up. But uh, it evolved to where my mom was at a low in her life, and Ronnie became a light in her life. And once my mom and my dad fell out, my mom and Ronnie Wilson, you know, they connected. So, and it was a blessing in disguise because it got me and my brothers out the hood, out of the city of LA, all the inner cities. And we eventually moved to the IE, the Inland Empire, Moreno Valley. So But Ronnie had a lot of health issues, before, and then when he became a pastor in the church and he was married to my mom and we had a new life, he had a new chapter in his life. His health was generally okay. He was a little heavy set, but he relapsed, around, I want to say my senior year or my first year in college, and he started doing drugs again. I don't know which choice of drug he ended up doing, but he ended up cheating on my mom in the midst of him doing those drugs or relapsing, and then uh, they got back to my mom broke up with him. I moved back to LA because I was like, nah, I can't be around. I can't be around this situation. Like I'm gonna hurt this dude. And but I forgave him. He asked me to forgive him. He actually drove me back to LA. You know, to be back with my dad. He wanted to make it right. He wanted to try to right his wrong before I started my new adulthood, my chapter in my life. And once they moved to Texas, and he ended up having a couple of more strokes in Texas. So when my mom got back with him, his health was declining again. So the point I'm making is this: just like Irv Gotti, he was the CEO and he was doing his stuff in the industry. When you do drugs early on in your career or in your life, especially when you go beyond like weed, it takes a toll on your body and your health. And um, the worst thing you could do is relapse. Now, I'm not saying I don't know. I haven't been around Irv Gotti, but I if I had to guess, I would say he probably relapsed a couple of times. He probably would, you know, dap here and there, and maybe do a little more coke again after he would recover from some type of a stroke from the past, or whatever the case may be. Or he might just, even the alcohol, drinking. When your body has already been messed up from so many different drugs in your body, the last thing you want to do is relapse or consume something like alcohol. Alcohol is one of the worst things you can put in your body, especially when you put other harmful man made substances in your body. And ultimately, um, my stepfather, Ronnie Wilson, um, an accumulation of drugs from the past, alcohol, and stress is what killed him. Is what gave him more multiple strokes and finally killed him. And who knows? That could have been the same situation. That could have been the same case with Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti could have had so much crud, like my mom used to likes to use the word crud, crud in his body, different drugs and alcohol abuse, stress, anger, anxiety, all of that worry, all of those combinations are a recipe for disaster. And black people in America suffer from some of the worst stresses. You know, um, we could be some of the ones that dwell on, hurts, negativity, anxiety, drama a lot. And when you combine that with drugs and alcohol abuse, you won't have a great long lasting life. You know. Now my stepfather he was well over 54. You know, if I'm not mistaken, Irv Gotti was 54 when he passed. My pops, he was, I want to say he was in his 70s, early 70s or late 60s. I want to say early 70s. You know, also he had a lawsuit against Charlie Wilson. He was trying to, which was justifiably so because Charlie, he took after a while, he just started taking full credit for the Gap Band, and it started being Charlie Wilson in the Gap Band, when really it was just the Gap Band, and it consisted of the three brothers. So whether his brothers were there or not, it was still the Gap Band, but it was a lot of handlers around Charlie Wilson that was influencing him to make it just all about him. Oh, you don't need your brothers, you are the Gap Band, and Ronnie eventually, he wanted to be compensated for a lot of songs that he wrote. He wrote Outstanding, Yearning for Your Love, Party Train, You Dropped the Bomb on Me, all those hit songs that y'all know from the Gap Band. My stepfather wrote that. Ronnie Wilson, not Charlie Wilson. Ronnie Wilson wrote those songs. You know, but he Charlie kind of like left his older brother hanging. They didn't always see eye to eye. Charlie was still industry while Ronnie was more church. You know, Christian religion, and so they didn't always align. And but in regards to Irv Gotti, I think y'all need to just learn lessons not only from Irv Gotti, even my own stepfather. When you're in the industry or when you're just making a lot of money, let's just forget the celebrity in the industry stuff. When you're making a lot of money, be careful with your habits because all the money is just going to increase your habit. The money is not going to make you healthy. You know, I think people get food and they think that because people, someone is a millionaire or a celebrity, that their health is fine, they're perfectly in good condition, good health, and they're going to have a long lasting life. No, it's actually worse. There's more risk for people who are in the industry and who have a lot of money because they have they can easily buy what they crave, you know. And if your habits are craving alcohol, drugs, sex, um, and partying all the time, party all the time. Okay, well, your body is going to deteriorate faster and you're going to suffer more. You're going to have more of a swift exit out of here, So, Irv Gotti, I think he didn't take care of his health. And I think he didn't know how to detach himself from his old way. And I think that's what, you know, eventually caught up with him. I don't wish death on nobody, you know. My condolences to his family. But I will say this. It didn't sit well with me how he was acting, how he was talking. Ego is probably one of the most um, addicting drugs, you know, or it's a hidden drug. When people have a lot of money and they have status, that ego gets to their head. And when Irv Gotti started coming back on the scenes and he started feeling comfortable because other people was doing interviews, talking about stuff, revealing secrets about stuff they dealt with people in the industry. Irv Gotti, when he felt the need to reveal a lot of stuff and he started talking about what he had with Ashanti, I felt like he was a marked man anyway, because it's just certain things you don't do. That was a boundary that he crossed. It's almost as if he tried to discredit Ashanti. He tried to spoil her reputation, and especially when he knew that she was involved with Nelly. But you want to do something like that to try to, like, I don't know, maybe make Nelly be like, oh nah man, I can't mess with her, man. She was messing with Irv Gotti. She a hoe. Like, I don't know what Irv Gotti's his agenda was or what his purpose was behind doing what he did, but as soon as he did that interview, I was like, you know what, this nigga's a clown, bro. Like, you a whole clown ass nigga out here. You a whole out here to even say that. Like, you're not over Ashanti? Are you sprung? Was you? I feel like he was obsessed with her, to even say something like that, to be that desperate and be like, yeah, me and Ashanti, man, shut up. But anyway, that didn't sit well with me. I lost a lot of respect from him for doing that. But at the end of the day, let this be a teachable lesson to everybody, especially the black community. Take care of your health. We're not perfect. We don't eat the best foods all the time, but at least try. Don't remember our body is our temple, right? So don't abuse it and put our body in a situation to where it can't work properly anymore. And take care of your mind, your mental. You know, remember to remain humble Life can humble you, but don't let it get to the point to where life has to humble you for you to be humbled. You know, have humility. You know, don't walk around with your chest up, acting like you're bigger and better than everybody. You know, you're a human being. You can bleed just like the next person can bleed. You can get your ass whooped just like the next person can get their ass whooped. You can get killed just like the next person can get killed. You can die today just like the next person can die today. So we should never get ahead of ourselves and think that we're greater than life or the creator itself. So, you know, rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Rest in peace to even, my pops, Ronnie Wilson, because he don't get enough flowers. I'll definitely give him his flowers. I'll make another video about the Gap Band. You know, I have a couple of videos about it, but, really, I need to be doing an exclusive interview, you know, about my experiences with the Gap Band. I was born in 82. I met Ronnie around 88, 89, and all the way up until 89, up until the 2000s plus. I've known not only Ronnie Wilson, I've known Charlie Wilson. I used to see him every year. He would come every Christmas over to our house, give me and my brothers $100 every Christmas, plus some presents. I met his wife. We didn't really like her like that, but you know, she was cordial with us. Um, Robert, the bass player, I know him. I know his kids. I know his daughters. I know everybody's kids. I have stepbrothers and stepsisters that were connected to the Wilson family. So shout out to the whole Wilson family. Shout out to Ronnie Wilson, and shout out to everybody that's been in the industry that has been trying to better their life. But just remember, you're not bigger than life. You have um, to get up out of bed just like everybody else and live your life like everybody else. Be grateful, but also be responsible, not only with what you do, but how you treat other people, what you say about other people, especially when it comes to people's secrets and stuff like that. Because, like what you do in the bedroom is your business, but you ain't got to tell the whole world, especially when you got a camera, a platform for to where the whole world can hear what you got to say. You don't have to tell everybody, oh yeah, I slept with this celebrity, I slept with this celebrity. If that person ain't said that, and that person haven't revealed that, or y'all didn't have an agreement that you were going to do that, just shut up. Be quiet. Keep that to you. If you feel like you're proud of that, that's a badge of honor. Be proud within yourself. Say to yourself, dang, man, I pulled Shanti, I pulled so-and-so. But to try to tell other people in the industry or people that don't know you from a can of paint that, oh yeah, me and Ashanti used to be when I was at my heyday and I was a CEO. Yeah, I was effing my artist Ashanti, and even though Ja Rule, was my artist and he did a lot of songs with her, but I was the one hitting her. Like, come on, bro, you a lame for that, bro. And so sometimes you just be quiet. Just be quiet, live your life, and take care of your family, take care of your health. Because sometimes there's karma. And I'm not saying that it was karma, him dying is karma for what he said about Ashanti, but I will say this. You got to be careful how you um, treat other people. Ashanti was not your slave, sir. Ashanti was, I don't give a damn if she was signed to his record label or not. Ashanti, Ja Rule, everybody that was under his record label were not his slaves. They were his artists. But so unfortunately, executives and CEOs treat their artists like slaves. Diddy, for example. And then they suffer in the end because you know, you can't do others wrong and you live your life not doing right by others and think you're going to thrive for the rest of your life. It don't work like that. This universe don't work like that. There is karma for things you do to other people. So you're going to suffer one way or the other. Suge Knight is in prison right now. Diddy's in prison right now. Irv Gotti just passed away right now. Do y'all not see the pattern? Like, you could be a CEO, you can have all the money in the world. That's not going to take away, and that's not going to take away your fate and your karma that's coming for you swiftly, So you can be here today, gone tomorrow. So do people right. Don't take advantage of people. Don't belittle them, and don't talk down on them like as if they are nothing without you, or like you made them, because you didn't make them. Their parents made them, and they obviously had something of value that you wanted, or you would not have used them to get to where you at to make yourself look good. Last I checked, Suge Knight wasn't no musician, no writer, no artist like that. So you don't he took advantage of using artists to make himself look good. Did he? Last I checked, he ain't no damn writer like that. He ain't no great rapper. He ain't no musician. So he used artists to make himself look better than he was and boost himself up. Irv Gotti, I still have yet to know what the hell the nigga did. Last I checked, Irv Gotti wasn't no musician. He wasn't no rapper. He wasn't no writer. He used his maybe business uh, sense and advantages to use other artists to boost himself up. And then same thing, DJ Khaled. Last I checked, he don't write, he don't produce. He was a DJ, but real talk, the nigga's not talented, dog. He uses his status because he has advantages already to use other artists to make himself look good. But all of these executives aren't talented. They're not the prize like that. It's their artists that are the prize. But because they have the advantage, they have the money, they use these artists to boost themselves up. And then when they don't need the artists anymore, or when the artists are kind of start waking up and realizing that, they're being used and taken advantage of, then they want to tear down the artists that help boost them up. Same thing with the owner of a team. They got all of these great athletes that's selling tickets and putting asses in seats. But then they act like the same people that has boosted up their brand, they act like the ones that boosted up their brand have no value and no good, and they can't do nothing without them. But you know what? This year is the year of justice. This year is the year of karma. So you better right your wrongs, and people that you've taken advantage of and used just to boost yourself up, you got to knock it off. Those people are going to suffer. And I'm talking about people that's in high places that have a lot of money to control a lot of people. Stop trying to control people with your money. Stop trying to control people with your privileges and your advantages in the industry and in these corporations. Because at the end of the day, you will be exposed. You will be revealed, and the truth will be revealed about you, because you're going to reveal the truth about yourself, because you can't help but to keep boosting yourself up, talking like you that person. But RP to these people, who supposedly contributed to the hip hop industry, and who paid it forward. But really, the ones who really paid it forward are the artists who were signed by these supposed people who supposedly did something to boost up hip hop. I don't believe Irv Gotti helped do anything to boost up hip hop in any way. I don't feel like he contributed to hip hop, not in no positive way. I mean, your record label was called Murder Inc. Murder Inc. Come on, bro. Knock it off. But anyway, man. Take care of y'all health, man. Take care of y'all's mind, y'all mental. And remember, if you become a millionaire tomorrow and you have an opportunity to put other people on, don't take advantage of them. Maybe have a contract and be, clear on what you expect from them, but do not take advantage of them. And if y'all for some reason fall out, don't tear them down. Don't try to spoil their reputation and take away their opportunities to thrive post being connected to you. That's all I'm saying. Salute, y'all. Y'all take it easy, man. Have a good one.